Good afternoon, Morph community. Welcome to another Wellness Wednesdays. Wellness Wednesdays, call it like that because it is very important for us to look after ourselves. But wellness, as you know, is not only about looking after oneself, it's also about adapting to changes in our life. And when we have a morph moment, we need to adapt. So without further ado, today I will introduce you to Jeweled Buddha, which is a wonderful sustainable brand, and it's run by a beautiful lady called Harjit, Sohotey-Kahn, and I can see she asked us to join, and I wave, and I hold on a second, let me accept her invitation to us any seconds now. Okay, go live. There she is. Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I was trying to concentrate on my intro and trying to get you on.
It was
It was a bit challenging, but hey, we're here now.
It was a great intro, thank you.
So I have now Harjit with me, and Harjit is a very special lady because Harjit not only runs a wonderful brand called Jeweled Buddha, she's also a morph woman. So she went through incredible change in her life. She had a revelation, and then she adapted her life to live a lifestyle that she thought was more sustainable and balanced than what she was leading beforehand. And she's also giving back with her brand. So it's a totally sustainable from all different aspects. So without further ado, and me waffling about and not making much sense, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, so who have joined, my name is Harjit. I'm the founder of Jeweled Buddha, which is an ethical fashion brand for women who don't compromise on style or their values.
Great. Thank you for that, Harjit. So the first question I would like to ask you is, the theme of my Wellness Wednesdays is about talking about morph moments. And, it's when we navigate through life, sometimes circumstances change. It can be a cutting event in our life. For me, it was having babies. It changed completely the way I was leading my life was not sustainable anymore, and I had to make changes. For you, it wasn't starting a family, but you had a personal revelation. So what was your morph moment which you adapted to? Because it takes a lot of courage. And a lot of women like us go through this phase where you know you need to adapt and you need to change something in your life, but you don't know really how to get about it. So this is why I liked sharing stories of women who managed to get empowered through the morph moment they experienced. So will you share with us your personal morph moment?
Yes, so my morph moment happened, gosh, it's quite a few years ago, it's just over 6 or 7 years, and I was working in city in a corporate job. All right, a few years after that, I really started hating it. I just found I took bored of the whole routine of it. Like, I got to work. I just found the whole sort of job itself was unfulfilling. I had my own personal dreams at the time as well, and I just found that even if I tried to sort of pacify myself and think it was a phase, still feeling really sort of quite sort of sad about the whole thing. But I have to change my life now. So it was a question of just actually sitting there thinking, how am I going to do that? So going through a phase of reflection and wondering, okay, I'm bored with the job. My life is just full of routine. There's nothing different going. How am I? Because if I don't change it, I'll still be in the same position a year down the line, 5 years, 10 years. So I literally quit my job along with my husband as well. And we
Well, your husband quit his job. You didn't quit your husband.
yeah, no, I've had those moments, but
Just to be sure the listeners
yeah,
get the right story.
yeah.
Actually, your connection is not particularly good, Harjit. Your connection, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, am I? I don't know what to do. Um, is it really unclear?
It comes across to me, but of course it could be me.
Yeah, because I can hear it as well. So maybe if I turn the volume down less, or how does that?
No. Well, no, you're breaking up a little bit, but let's continue. It is what it is.
Okay.
Okay, so you and your husband quit your jobs, your corporate jobs.
Yeah. So yeah, and we decided to go traveling because that was one of our dreams that we wanted to fulfill. And we literally quit our jobs, jumped on a plane, and went traveling. It wasn't as instantaneous, but it was a few months of reflection after we quit. I thought, let's just do it because if we just do it now, it never work. As you know, having more responsibility in life, it puts more pressure to actually not follow your dreams. No, why we can't follow your dreams. I think a lot of the time we actually hold ourselves, back from doing things. A lot of other people don't do it. So at the age of 43, I think I was, that's what we did, and we travelled around Southeast Asia, the whole of Asia, doing so many amazing things and bucket lists and all that. And it was whilst we were traveling, totally unintentional, that I came across a lot of craft communities, a lot of countries in Nepal, India, Southeast Asia. There were so many sort of craft communities that I came across, and I loved.
No, sorry for interrupting. Is there any room where you would have better Wi-Fi by any chance?
We've got brilliant Wi-Fi. I don't know why it's not working now. Can you not?
That's weird. That's weird. Okay, well, continue then.
Yeah, sorry. Is it really bad? Or should we could?
Well, it does break up a lot. I don't know whether the listeners can hear. If you want to leave a comment,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, and let us know if you can hear Harjit, okay? Please do.
Yeah, that would be great. If otherwise we're just talking into the, aren't we?
Yeah, you are breaking up quite a bit. But anyways, nobody's saying that it's bad, so I guess we continue then. Sorry for interrupting you twice.
Yeah, that's all right. Maybe just ask. So yeah, so it's an amazing time just traveling and discovering lots of things, people, putting ourselves out there, situations, things that we wanted to do, and it was, the craft that really sort of, I've got a love of handmade stuff, so I love artisan fashion, being Asian, artisan fashion. So, love discovering and learning all the stories and where all the textiles came. So, I think from that there were several sort of, morph moments for me. It was deciding to do something about it, being open while I was traveling. But maybe in all this, maybe I could change, and I was changed while I was traveling. I was becoming aware of who I was, what I wanted to be, and what my capabilities were. Because I just back in a typical corporate job, thinking this is what I was going to do, pay the mortgage off, and then retire and live your life. But it might be too late. So yeah, when I came back, I had to really sort of readjust, and then another, do I create a business? And that's what I did. So there are several morph moments, but I think starting it, doing it, and actually acting was the biggest thing. About travel, all those women there, there's so much for you to do. You could have passion for something else. How am I going to incorporate it into my life? Because you'll never do it. Other things will always come back and stop you from doing it.
Yeah, life is unpredictable. Life is short. We don't know how long we're on this planet for and how well we're going to be. So we need to make the most out of it.
Yeah.
So you set up Jewel Buddha. Where does the name come from? Why Jewel Buddha?
Sort of nod travel, basically, because all the countries went to Buddhas there. So Nepal, Myanmar, you name it, Thailand. And there were all these wonderful, like, sort of Buddhas there, with, you know, either like gold stuff. And for me, it's like a thing, you know. And I'm not Buddhist, I'm Sikh, but very much, you know, universal type of thing, you know, especially with textiles, that brings textiles together, the universal thing where weaving and artisan craft, you know, there's a lot of overlap in different countries of textiles as well.
So wait a second, I just got to check my Wi-Fi if it's me. So you and I met at the Spirit of Christmas, where we both exhibited with Ethical Brand Directory, which was basically a stand with curated brands that were ethical and sustainable and had an ethos of values. That was curated by Roberta Lee, who's a London Sustainable Stylist. And it was a fantastic event, and particularly also because it took place when we met. It was just before COVID hit us, so we were blissfully unaware what was going to happen a few months later. And I remember with a lot of fondness that event, but particularly meeting you and meeting and getting to know your brand. And what fascinated me the most about your brand is that every single product you had displayed, and you obviously have in your range, has a story that it tells, a story of where it comes from and who worked on it, and what aspects of that product are actually encompassing the giving back value. And I love that, and I hope you can tell us a little bit, if you can pick some cherries out of your cake and tell us a few stories. I mean, I did buy quite a few items from from Harjit while I was at the Spirit of Christmas, because I couldn't help it. They were just so beautiful. I kept eyeing them through the day and throughout the week, and then I ended up purchasing. And I've got them here. I will show them to you. So this is a sari necklace. And before I move on to the other pieces, will you tell us a little story about the sari necklaces, what they are? I will go closer to the camera so that people can see the fine detail of this super light. It's beaded. Normally when you get necklaces as you say, as ornamental as this, they're super heavy on the neck, but these are light like feathers. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm wearing them with a jumper. Normally I wear them in the summer with a little black dress and a nice décolleté. But anyway, I wanted to put it on because I wanted to show viewers how gorgeous that is. Can you tell us the story about the sari necklace, for example?
Yeah, sure. So the sari necklaces are one of the first products that I launched. So it's a wonderful social enterprise that I work with in India, who I met, and it's part of the upcycled collection that we do. So I absolutely love that it starts off with a sari. And basically these saris are in sort of the bazaars of India and the markets, and they're actually paired together, hand stitched by artisans who do it's a type of a running stitch called kantha. It's hundreds and hundreds of years old, but it's very good for actually joining pieces of cloth together to make either quilts or scarves and lots of other things. So the story of the necklaces actually starts off with the scarves that we have. I've actually got one here. We do lots of scarves and wraps. So you can see here, this was once a sari and it's been stitched.
Oh, yeah, that matches my necklace.
Yeah.
Well, I got the other one off you, right? At the show. I bought this one. Is that the same? That's also a sari
Yeah,
one, right?
that's right. So all those stitches, are there to sort of, create a lovely quilted texture to the scarves or the wraps. And then from the waste products of this, the excess material, that's what the necklaces are made of. So basically, it's like a zero waste, very beautiful. It's like a zero waste process, which again is brilliant because, it's stopping sort of, stuff ending up in landfill. It's better for the environment. But most importantly, the artisans who create it, they earn a sustainable income. That way they can save, for their children's future, because, cash flow is always a problem with everyone, isn't it? Whether you're a business, whether, you've got your own personal finances, actually earning more than you need so that you can save and invest in your family and your home and your lifestyle is very important. So, I met the artisans when I went to India, which was brilliant. So, the ones that make the sari necklaces are just, it's such a lot of patience you need to make those. And I mean, basically, they're like the beads that you can see here and that Giovanna's wearing they're very lightweight, is because they're made from shisham wood, and they're actually prayer beads. So, every aspect of these necklaces that we have is, sort of taking something that was once a completely different product, but actually upcycling it into something even more valuable, even more beautiful. And that's what I love about upcycling. You're actually, it's like a rebirth. It's almost like a reincarnation of something, which is really great, and these will last forever. I mean, I've had some sari necklaces for about 7 years, and they still look brand new, so they're one of a kind as well. So all the necklaces, the scarves, the wraps, they're one of a kind.
That's what I like.
Yeah. Behind me, this is like the latest upcycled products that we have, which is upcycled kimonos. So it's actually a traditional kimono shape, a T-shaped kimono, but it's made in the iconic, national dress of India, which is a sari. So it's taking the finest, of Japan, blending it,
Yeah,
and making it into a sari. Plus, it's reversible. So, with all our products, they're multifunctional, and having a multifunctional wardrobe is really important in terms of sustainability as well, isn't it? Because you get more use out of it, you wear it more often, and in the long run, that's going to be better, isn't it? It's less items going to landfill. And of course,
yeah.
once you do come to the the end of the life cycle of the products, you can upcycle them yourself into something else. There's so many things that you can make around the home. So that's
Yeah.
what I love about them.
Yeah, I love that there is a story behind your products, and I love the fact that they're unique pieces. And I will walk on the street wearing one of them, and nobody else is gonna have it. Your kimono actually was on my Santa Claus's wish list, but Santa didn't get the kimono last year, which would have been really handy in lockdown, because I would have loved to feel really fancy at home. But I shall put it on my wish list again. Hopefully, Santa will be a little bit nicer this year.
I hope so. Otherwise, I think he needs to be sacked, doesn't he? Really? So.
It's very difficult to set my Santa. He's very much loved. So what else did I buy? I bought one more thing from you. I'm so naughty, am I? Well, I know you don't have these anymore.
Yeah.
That's exactly an example of, that Harjit has unique pieces. So this was a organic silk scarf. It is.
Yes.
I absolutely love this scarf. And I asked her when we were at the fair, I asked her, say, what is the difference between normal silk and organic silk? And I really love the story. Will you tell the story of the hungry caterpillar, please?
Yeah, so basically normal silk that you get is actually made by boiling silk cocoons in hot water. So it's not an ethical sort of process. And obviously, if you're vegan, then it's no good for you. So that's the main difference, really. So organic silk, and the one that you're wearing, it's got certified as well. I think I've got a few of those on my Etsy shop. So I think there's one in green, which is still available. But, yeah, that's the process of it. And a lot of people don't actually know that. That they're actually made by boiling silk cocoons, and then once they're boiled, they remove the dead worm, and then they spin the silk, and that's how the silk products are made. So this process that we have, the organic silk, is made actually by not harming the silkworms, waiting for the process of when the cocoons naturally fall off. And then once they've fallen off, then they take those and spin the silk from them. So it's a much comfortable, process.
Yeah, you were saying that it's more difficult, right? Because it's harder, it's drier, it's more dry, and it breaks off more easily. So it's much more difficult to weave.
Yes.
And it's got a rougher texture, almost like a linen.
Yes, that's right.
But it still has the sheen.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you can look at the fabric. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's got a beautiful texture to it. That's actually
beautiful texture. And yeah, beautiful texture.
Stunning,
Yeah.
You wear that really well, Giovanna.
Thank you. You know what? I brought it with me when I went to Paris Fashion Week, just before they shut everything down last year. Was it last year? Gosh, you know what? I lose the concept of time. Was it 2020? Yeah, 2020 they shut down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, last year I went. And yeah, I wore this.
Yes, and you look gorgeous in it. You wear it better than I do anyway.
Well, these are my colors. Roberta would say these are my colors. I mean, black is not one of my colors, but it's got the beige. So she allowed me to wear black if I combine it with a softer, more autumnal or natural color.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the other reason why I wanted to have you here, not only because you tell, your products are unique, they tell beautiful stories, your company gives back to communities. You are also a Morph woman.
I am, yes. I've got my beautiful Morph bags, I've got my clutch, and I've got my shopper and my crossbody. I absolutely live for this crossbody, basically. It is just so amazing. I use it every single day. I don't think there's a day I've not really used it.
Right, that's nice to hear.
Yes.
Do you use the tote reversed at all?
Yes, I do. And that's what's great about it. We were talking about multifunctionality in clothes and in accessories. That's what I love about the bag, the tote, that you can reverse it. And then, depending on what you're wearing, you can choose whichever side, you want to wear with your outfit. So that's what I love, about it. I mean, I don't know whether you remember when I bought it from you, I said, Giovanna, I'm not really a bag person. I have got really pretty handbags, everyone loves things like that, somewhere special to do that, but you can't use them all the time. And then before you know it, they're at the back of the wardrobe and they're not being used at all. And you sit there and you think you didn't get the value for what you paid for them, So what I love about these bags is the fact that not only are they classic, so they're totally timeless. They go with everything, even if you're wearing jeans and a t-shirt, or whether, you're going to work, whether you're going to drop the kids off and you need to go to the shops, in between, you can take your tote as well. And I just love the fact that they're so versatile and practical, and
great.
That's
well, I love the fact that you like them for the reasons that I made them.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear when people use them for the purpose that they were designed to be.
Yeah,
that's great. So, is there anything else you're bringing apart from these beautiful kimonos we talked about, the sari necklaces, the sari scarves?
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Yes, there is something we didn't mention actually. You do interior stuff like for furnishings, right? Like soft furnishings.
Yeah, we do a range of cushion covers and also multifunctional rugs. So the rugs you can actually use as throws as well, or you can put them, say, in the kids' playroom,
So cool.
and they can like sort of, they're really hard wearing, and they're from Rajasthan as well. So it's a wonderful business there, social enterprise that's been going for about 30 years, made up of really like marginalized weavers who live in really harsh climates in the desert, and they provide like sort of a lot of education, gender equality for women. They've actually one of the first people to actually train women to weave so that they can stand on their own 2 feet and be independent, and provide for their families. And that way they're not dependent on the men who a lot of the time tend to leave the homes and migrate to the cities to work. So a lot of those problems tend to happen in craft communities, where you get communities where they have lots of beautiful textiles and that's what they've done all their lives. But because of the economic problems they have, a lot of them have to leave and go to the cities to work. And then what happens is, the crafts die. And then that's the end of it because of all the technology and the modern, textile industry. That puts a lot of pressure on weavers. They can't make the money, that they normally would, and they just leave that. So this social enterprise in Rajasthan is amazing, because they provide like sort of vaccinations for women. They teach, communities against infanticide as well, because there's a lot of, people, if they're having babies, they're aborting females, which is terrible. It's just real quite medieval sort of thought process. But, you need to take it from a point of compassion to say, look, times are changing. There has to be some sort of, equality in men and women can do these things as well, which is why they teach them to do weaving as well, because they're placed on the same level then as men in terms of status, So it's, yeah, I've got a few pieces of those on the website, which is brilliant as well. And I've got a couple of new products coming up. I've got more new colors in the capes that I do. That's a really great brand called Julahas. And those are multifunctional capes. You can wear them as a jacket, a poncho, a wrap, scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't the stylist, Roberta, actually did she do a blog or did she do a post where she was styling them in different ways, with belt, without belt?
I'll put that up.
She did one, didn't she? I remember that. I thought it would look great.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I'll put that up in stories.
Yeah, that's a really good one, the capes. So, what are your plans for Christmas gifting this year? For me, I don't want to buy too much, and certainly what I don't want to end up in a manic rush just before Christmas, where then I have a few people to buy for, and then I just buy random things. I just want to be really thoughtful.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people are more thoughtful now. I've spoken to quite a few, customers or people I know. A lot of people are starting earlier this year buying Christmas presents because they want to buy the right things, because we value life in a different way now. We know that we can't take things for granted anymore. So I was wondering, I know that's really cheeky and I shouldn't do it on the live. I should have diplomatically have to ask you behind the scenes, but would you be able to share like a little coupon or a discount code for the Morph community for some of your products? So that, because I've got a very conscious community and I think they might think alike like me and start a Christmas shopping early this year. Would you be able to?
Of course, yes, I'll do it.
I'm so cheeky, I'm so naughty.
All right. Why not? If it gives people a chance to try the products, and learn more about the brand and the impact, that it has, then by all means, it's my pleasure.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. So when I post the video, I will share the discount code you create. Yeah, it's okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I'll give back to I'll give one to for your community. Is that okay? I give you a code too. So just to not be unilateral.
Yeah.
That's great. So thank you so much for coming on Wellness Wednesdays Morph Moment series
Oh,
uh,
thank
with the Morph bag.
you.
It was really great to have you here. It was lovely to catch up with you again.
And you.
Shame we're not doing the spirit of Christmas this year, but I'm really tired from last year and I didn't have the energy to actually run another event like that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sure we'll meet again, But thank you so much for having me. It's honestly, it's wonderful to see you again.
Wonderful to see you too. Thanks so much. And yeah, keep in touch.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.